This week, Mercury the Messenger turns back to direct motion at 4 degrees of Leo. All of this, an empowered moment and more in my new intuitive energy forecast for the week of Monday, August 11th through Sunday, August 17th, 2025. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger here with your weekly intuitive energy forecast. First, let me remind you that I am holding a 50% off special on a 30-minute intuitive reading. You can check the comments below for all the information on that. So for this week's reading, we are going to be using the Good Tarot, and this is by Colette Baron Reed. I've never used this deck before. In fact, I just got it in the mail just not too long ago. So we're going to see how the Good Tarot reads for us today. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, also comes from a deck I haven't used. I don't know that I've ever used it in one of the weekly or monthly readings. I may have, but if so, it's been a really long time. But this is called the Moonology Oracle Cards deck. And this is by Yasmin Bolin. So that's going to be your special message card. Before we get into looking at the stones of choice or the astrology for the week, let's go ahead, close our eyes, and do an empowered moment. So take a deep breath as you close your eyes. And as you exhale, relax your body and clear your mind of all thoughts. Just being in the present moment, being in the here and now. And visualize golden white light all around you. And this golden white light is that of unconditional love and guidance, protection and healing. See it surrounding you from head to toe, or feel it or sense it, or just know that it's there. And as you are immersed in that golden white light, I want you to take a deep breath, breathing it into every cell of your body. As you exhale, letting your body relax even more. And we are focusing this week on the mental body. Mercury, the messenger, turns back to direct motion, and Mercury is all about our thoughts and plans, ideas, perceptions. And it's been in retrograde motion, so it's been internalizing the energies into self-reflection, maybe reworking or redoing things, maybe researching things. But now that Mercury is turning back to direct motion, we can now express any new ideas out into the world, even if they're old ideas that have been revamped on some level. We can now express them. We can put them into action in these next few days as Mercury turns direct and picks up speed. So focus on a thought, an idea, something new, a new revelation or perspective. Focus on that energy and what it's all about. And consider in your mind how you can further that energy, expand that energy, activate that energy, or put it into motion in some way, shape, or form. Knowing that the universe now supports the outward expression and supports the outward communication of any goals or ideas or dreams or aims that you might have, whether they be personal or a group endeavor or something on a collective level. So as we take our next deep breath, I want you to breathe in the energy of that thought, that idea, that perspective. Breathe in deeply, breathing in that energy that you're envisioning or thinking about, And as you exhale, exhale with the intention that you're now exerting that, expressing that out into the universe in some way, shape, or form through communication, activation, movement, some sort of forward motion as you exhale it out into the universe. And as you feel ready and in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place and space. So let's go ahead and look at our stones of choice for the week. Okay, so the first stone here is Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is this beautiful, it's kind of a light brown stone, but it's got those golden hues in it, right? So it's kind of the, what do I want to say? Striations of the brown, the tan, the gold, the yellow. And Tiger's Eye, this is a great stone for protection, courage, mental clarity. It increases or magnifies your willpower. And it actually is a stone that helps you to focus your desires and attract abundance. Because of that yellow, it relates to the solar plexus chakra of your, ability to take action and make things happen. So again, that is the Tiger's Eye. And then the second stone of choice, this is fire agate. Beautiful red. This is kind of a deep reddish orange color. And the fire agate, this is good for grounding. If you've felt a little bit ungrounded lately, this might be a great stone for you. So grounding, it helps to increase your vitality. It is helping us to focus on passion or what we're passionate about or finding that passion within ourselves. Creativity. It helps with the connection between body, mind, and spirit. And this is also a great stone for manifestation. Okay. And then our last stone of choice. This is peach quartz. Beautiful, light, kind of peachy color, peach quartz. This is a great stone for emotional healing, spiritual growth, self-discovery. This is a stone of personal power. So if you feel like you've been giving your power away or you need to take your power back, it could be taking your power back with a faulty belief system or a negative mindset. This is going to help you to take back your power or increase your personal power. It's also a great stone for self-respect and independence. So again, your stones of choice for this week are the Tiger's Eye, the fire agate, and the peach quartz. All right, so let's set those aside. Let's talk about the astrology for the week. We start out on Monday the 11th, first day of the week, with Mercury, the messenger, ruler of the mental realm, turning back to direct motion at 4 degrees of Leo. It did its entire retrograde in the sign of Leo, and Leo rules confidence and courage and leadership and take charge ability. It rules creative self-expression and how we shine our light out to the world, out into the world. So while Mercury has been in its retrograde motion, it's been internalizing this energy for us to contemplate, think about, understand on a deeper level, on a mental level, what that really means. How do we find our courage? How do we connect to or tap into our confidence? How do we creatively express ourselves out into the world? What are your creative gifts? How do I take a stand and be a leader or take charge of my life or the direction that I'm meant to go? And so now that it's turned back to direct motion, we can start to slowly again move forward in an external way, expressing out in the world, which is what we kind of did that little mini meditation on, right? Now, Mercury is going to take a few days to actually pick up speed, before it leaves its post-shadow period. And in fact, it's in its post-shadow period until August 25th. And what that means is by the time we get to August 25th, we'll get to Mercury being in the degree of Leo, where it was when it first went retrograde. So we've got this post-shadow period where we're still kind of tying up loose ends. We're still, working through some things. Communication, we're trying to get communication back on track, the expression of our ideas and our creativity. So give it some time. We've got, about 14 days, about 2 weeks before it leaves its shadow period. But we're still able to, now that it's in direct motion, to move forward, to implement some plans, ideas, to send out that, email and have that meeting and have things kind of move in a timely manner. Also on Monday the 11th, we have Saturn, which rules restriction and limitation, responsibility, and karmic lessons. And it's in a positive connection, though, to Uranus. And Uranus rules freedom and liberation and change and redirection, and sometimes the unexpected. But again, this is a positive connection. So this is like the bridge from the past to the future, because Saturn does rule third dimensional time. It does rule, in that sense, the past. Karmic lessons come from the past. What is it that we were supposed to learn, or what is it that we are supposed to learn from any of these karmic lessons that our soul chose to come in with? But with the sextile, this positive connection to Uranus, it's an opportunity to move away from that past, take responsibility for the lessons that we learned regarding that past, and moving into Uranus, freeing ourselves and liberating ourselves, like Uranus rules, into some sort of future idea, endeavor, some sort of future version of who we are or what we're here to do. So Uranus is, again, the change maker, bringing some sort of change. And this positive sextile connection is an opportunity to, again, close that door behind you and open a new door moving forward into something new. Okay, on Monday, Tuesday, the 11th and 12th. So this happens really late Monday evening Eastern time, very early Tuesday morning Eastern time. So it's that kind of time period. We have Venus, the planet of love and relationships, but also the ruler of personal resources like money, time, gifts, our kind of spiritual gifts, if you were. Venus also rules value, our values, what we value, who we value, as well as self-worth. In other words, how we value ourselves. And Venus is connecting to Jupiter on Monday, Tuesday. And Jupiter is the planet of abundance, prosperity, blessings, opportunity, expansion, higher learning, higher understanding. It rules our belief systems as well. Now, both of these planets are in the sign of Cancer. And Cancer is intuitive and empathic and nurturing. It's emotional, sensitive, and it does rule home and family. Now, one positive thing about this combination is that both of these planets are considered benefics in astrology. Jupiter is known as the great benefic, meaning the great planet of blessings, and Venus is known as the lesser benefic. Not that she's less than Jupiter, but she's also a planet of blessings, just not to the extent that Jupiter is. So we've got two planets of blessings coming together in this beautiful harmonious conjunction, or sometimes a conjunction isn't so harmonious. So it just depends on the planets and what's going on. But here I think that Jupiter's expansive energy can expand our empathy, can expand our feelings, can expand our intuition or psychic perceptions, it can also expand situations regarding home and family and caretaking, emotional healing. This would be a really good time, actually, to go and get some healing for yourself or give love and healing to other people that you really love and care about. Because family isn't just our biological family, but it's all those people around us that we feel, very close to. They're like, our sister, our brother, our tribe. So again, this is I feel like a really good thing. It can expand our emotions. So if we're feeling really emotional, it can expand that and make it seem bigger, like we're really going through an emotional time or we're really feeling those feelings. But again, these two planets are planets of blessings. So let's kind of look at it as we're expanding into some sort of blessing or opportunity that deals with home, family, empathy, intuition, caring for others, counseling others, being connected to others in that interconnection, again, with people, our tribe, people that we care about, even our community. On Thursday the 14th, now this is interesting. I'm just going to say Thursday the 14th through Sunday the 17th, because really this aspect covers all of those days. This is very unusual because we're going back to Mercury. And remember, Mercury just went back to direct motion at 4 degrees of Leo on Monday. So it's very slow moving in the beginning. It's not moving very quickly, right? When it first turns back to direct motion, it's almost like it's at a standstill and it's just kind of crawling along very slowly. So on Thursday the 14th, Mercury, the planet of, again, our thoughts, our mind, our belief systems, our concepts, our logic, perceptions and perspectives, in this creative, fun-loving, shine your light sign of Leo, is in a positive sextile to Mars, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, who happens to be in Libra, which is a sign of partnerships. It is a sign of relationships. It's also a sign of balance and harmony, equality. And so there, again, with a sextile, there's an opportunity at play here. And with opportunities, we have to watch for the opportunities, be aware of it. And then when we see the opportunity, we have to take some sort of action to make something happen. So what opportunity are we looking for? Something in regards to communication with others, because Mercury is involved. So put yourself out there in communication through all various modes of operation. Also listen for communications to come to you as well. That could possibly include communication from your guides and angels and spirit, but it probably is going to be through people as well. So an opportunity of, again, some sort of information coming to you through some mode of communication that may be about collaboration, partnerships, relationships, connections with others. Because Libra, where Mars is, isn't just about romantic relationships. It can be about business partnerships. It can be about friendships. Again, it can be this collaborative energy where there's equal give and take. There's this balance here going on. There's equality happening. So that starts on Thursday. This is when it's exact, the connection between these two planets, as far as the degree they're both at in their two signs, Leo and Libra. They're exact on Thursday. And then on Sunday the 17th, they're exact again. And again, this is unusual. Why would that be? Why would two planets be exact on a certain day and then some days later be exact again? And it's because at this point, Mars is moving a little bit faster than Mercury. Even though Mercury is the much faster moving planet in general, because it just turned back to direct motion, it's moving at a snail's pace. So they connect on Thursday, and then Mars, because it's going a little faster right now than Mercury, goes on ahead a little bit. And then Mercury picks up speed, starting slowly to return to its normal motion. And so Mercury catches up to Mars, and they connect again. So this is why I say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, this aspect is in play, even though they're exact on Thursday and Sunday. So watch for those opportunities to have a conversation, to collaborate, to watch your email or your text, or send an email or a text, or any form of communication. It could be an opportunity to heal something in a relationship. It could be an opportunity to collaborate with somebody in doing something together. It could be an opportunity to meet somebody new, socialize, network, and have this very harmonious sort of interaction. So that's a little bit about I can say it. It's a little bit about what's going on astrologically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides from our new deck, the Good Tarot. So the first card is the Three of Fire. Okay, this is like the Three of Wands or the Three of Staves in the traditional tarot. The Three of Wands, you can see now that this is an image of a person that's in some kind of a makeshift boat. It almost looks like a seashell, but it's in the shape of a boat, so to speak. Now, the traditional Three of Wands, you usually see somebody, sometimes they're standing on the shore next to the ocean, and they're seeing a ship that's sailing in, a ship that's a little bit off in the distance that's coming to shore. Sometimes you see somebody sitting on a couch, a chair, a bed, and it's almost like they're imagining something. They're sitting there and they're visualizing and seeing. Again, it's often a ship in their imagination, the vision that they have, the vision that they see. The ship is coming in, and the ship is metaphoric for, again, the opportunity that something's moving, something's happening. There's a positive movement that's happening with your dreams, your goals, your visions. So first we want to see it, feel it, visualize it, and then see it coming towards you. Again, see this ship, this boat. See yourself sailing within it, or see it coming to you as you stand on the shore, however you want to visualize it, right? But this one is interesting because the person's actually in the boat. Whereas sometimes, most of the time, in different tarot decks and with the Three of Wands, the person is not in the boat. They're standing again on the shore. They're imagining that they're seeing a boat in their mind, or what have you. They're not actively in the boat. This person actually is actively in the boat. So I feel like we're already past the point of seeing the vision in our mind or seeing the vision with our imagination. We're actually now in the boat, moving towards the goal, moving towards the idea. And that's what we've been talking about with Mercury turning back to direct motion, and then later on this week, connecting to Mars and Libra. So we're already kind of driving the ship, if it were. So take the idea, take the thought, take whatever imaginings or vision is in your mind and ride with it, move with it, make something happen with it. All right, we got the sun shining overhead. You can kind of barely see it in this particular card, but the sun is shining down upon this. So something's being lit up. Something is being highlighted here. So definitely move forward. The number 3 in numerology is about expansion and growth. So we're expanding into fire. We're expanding into passion. We're expanding into leadership. We're expanding into creative self-expression, which is what fire is all about. All right, let's put that down and let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Okay, the second card is the Queen of Water. Now, the water is cups. So this is like the Queen of Cups in the traditional tarot. Cups is about emotions, feelings, intuition, relationships. Remember how I said Venus and Jupiter, the two planets of blessings, are coming together on Monday, Tuesday? And they're in the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign. So the Queen of Water, she's definitely tapped into her intuition. She's tapped into her psychic ability. She's tapped into and magnified into her empathic ability or empathy. She's much more nurturing, loving, mothering, caretaking. Again, this could relate to home and family, right? The Queen of Cups, the Queen of feelings and emotions and caretaking and nurturing and mothering would definitely relate to the home and family arena. So this is somebody that is that nurturing influence. This could be signifying qualities within you that need to be tapped into. This could be signifying somebody in your life that's coming in. It could be a woman. It doesn't have to be a woman. If it's a man, the man is definitely connected to their divine feminine, to all these love, intuitiveness, empathy sort of qualities, imagination, etc. But this again could be about you expanding into all of those feelings and emotions and that unconditional love and nurturing. And maybe it's towards yourself, maybe it's towards others, and maybe again it's coming from a person around you, around that time period, most likely of Monday, Tuesday. All right, and then the last card is the Page of Air. Now, air is the sword suit in the traditional tarot. So this is like the Page of Swords. And in this deck, the Page of Air, the Page of Swords, is an angel with her wings outspread. Okay, so again, I'm going back to the Mercury connecting to Mars, the sextile to Mars, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday here. I feel like there is some sort of very divine opportunity that comes in. And there could be some divine communication. So communication from your angels and guides, guidance coming in from your angels and guides, or guidance coming in from your higher soul self. Maybe you're the angel with wings outspread, right? So you're spreading your wings and getting ready to fly. You're spreading your wings with confidence and courage, okay? So usually the Page of Air, Page of Swords, is about communication, new ideas, new thoughts that come in, collaboration, networking, all those things that we already talked about. But it has this very, again, divine and angelic kind of quality to it. She looks like she's in a state of ecstasy almost, right? She's got her arms outspread as well as her wings, and she's kind of looking up at the sky, you know, as if connecting to the universe, connecting to the divine, and taking that opportunity energy and kind of moving forward with it. All right, so that's a great reading. Let's go ahead and see what message you have, a special message from your angels and guides, depending on your stone of choice. So that's first stone of choice was the tiger's eye. So for those of you that chose the tiger eye this week, what is the message for tiger eye people this week? This one's calling my attention. And it says, surrender to the divine. And it says full moon. Now, what's interesting about this card as the full moon is that we just had a full moon last Saturday, this past Saturday, August 9th, which was one day after the 8-8 Lionsgate portal. Now, the 8-8 Lionsgate portal, which focuses on the increasing of light codes coming down upon the planet and upon us, and also it increases our ability to manifest. That portal, even though 8-8 was the strongest point, it's open until the 12th of August. So that's this week, the 12th of August. Plus we have Mercury turning back to direct motion one day before that on Monday the 11th. So the full moon, which we just had last Saturday, is often about healing, releasing, letting go, and surrendering, just like the card says. Surrender to the divine. So for you, this might not be quite time yet to take action or to try to force something. I'm not going to say totally don't take an action, but definitely don't force anything yet. This is more surrendering to divine timing, surrendering to what's unfolding, surrendering to the healing process that perhaps you're going through, surrendering to letting something go. It could be a situation, a circumstance, a mindset, a belief system. But you're just in this mode of allowing and surrendering to whatever is going on with complete, total trust and faith in the divine plan and the divine timing of that plan. So this, for those of you that chose the tiger's eye, is your message to just kind of surrender and allow and go with the flow. All right, so let's go ahead and put that back in the deck in case somebody else gets it. The next stone of choice was the fire agate. Special message for the fire agate people. Fire agate for this week. What's the special message? Oh, that one popped right up, didn't it? I just opened my eyes. It says, work through your fears. And it's the new moon in Scorpio. Now, obviously, we're not having a new moon in Scorpio right now, but this energy is like a new moon, which is about new beginnings or initiating something. And what we're initiating is Scorpio energy. And Scorpio energy, it's about doing research. It's about going deep within your psyche and your subconscious, your unconscious, to do some healing work, some shadow work. Scorpio is about the occult side of life, the metaphysical side of life, the mysteries of life. It's a very powerful, it's about personal power. So maybe with this new moon in Scorpio energy on this card, we're activating our personal power. We're initiating our personal power in some aspect of our lives. But again, work through your fears. That's the connection to the subconscious, the unconscious with Scorpio. Scorpio is about things that are hidden and lie beneath the surface. And in this case, beneath the surface of our psyche. So any fears, any doubts, any anxieties, all of that is what you're working with during this time. And it's interesting because fire agate, right? We think of fire and passion and leadership and take charge. Well, maybe what are the fears to activating our passion? What are the fears to being a leader? What are the fears of expressing our creative self-expression, which is part of the fire agate that I told you about? So maybe we're initiating the work, that shadow work of our unconscious and subconscious fears. All right, let's put that back in the deck. The last stone of choice was the peach quartz. All right, so special message for this week for the peach quartz people, peach quartz people. Special message this week. This one's calling my attention. And it says, step out of your comfort zone with the North Node. This is what the North Node would look like in an astrology chart. Everybody has a North Node. The North Node is your destiny point. If you have a copy of your birth chart, astrologically, go look at it and look for this upside down horseshoe and what sign of the zodiac it's in and what house of the zodiac it's in, because that's what your soul chose to move towards in this lifetime, to understand more fully in this lifetime, to activate in this lifetime. So this is a very good and auspicious card. In fact, this reminds me of the Mercury sextile Mars at the end of the week, where there's an opportunity to activate your North Node. And again, in order to activate our North Node, oftentimes, just like the card says, we have to step outside of our comfort zone. Whatever we chose to aspire towards in this lifetime, according to the North Node, is not something we're familiar with and usually not something we're comfortable with. It's usually foreign, and we usually have to work a little bit harder, have awareness, take action with confidence. You know, for instance, my North Node is in Taurus in the third house. The third house is about communication, speaking, teaching, writing. Well, you see me here every week and every month doing the weekly videos on YouTube, but long, long ago, I was totally and completely afraid of speaking in public. Okay, so this North Node of mine in the third house, I had to work to activate it. I had to be consciously aware of, you know, especially once I found out about my astrology chart. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm supposed to be using my voice. I'm supposed to be speaking my truth. I'm supposed to be communicating in various forms. So this is what you're here to do. Now, your North Node may be somewhere else in a different sign, in a different house. And whatever it is, you know, it's again, step in without even knowing. You're like, don't worry if you don't know what it is. Just step outside of your comfort zone. It's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. I might be a little fearful, or I have anxiety about trying that. That's where you need to step outside of the comfort zone. Move towards, instead of saying your North Node, move towards your true north, right? Move towards your true north. What you know in your heart, what your higher self, your guides, your angels, what you're being guided to do, even if it feels scary or uncomfortable. That's where you're going with this energy. All right, everybody. Thank you so much again. Reminder, 50% off of a 30-minute reading only through the end of August. So please check out the comments below, find the link. And if you so feel guided to get a 30-minute session with me, I would love to connect with you and share with you whatever comes up from your angels and guides. So in the meantime, sending you lots of love and light, sending you many blessings of opportunities with Venus and Jupiter coming together. And I will see you again next week. Namaste.